After Johnny Somali and his two buddies were taken down by one Korean dude, a literal line of other Koreans formed, asking to fight him next.
Let's fight
Check
me!
your Instagram DM. Let's fight me. I will kill you.
If you're in a 20-mile radius to where I live, be prepared to see me.
Damn.
Until a Korean Navy SEAL arrived and actually found him in his
Holy
hotel.
shit.
Hey. 야, 소말리. 어디가?
어디가 오시니? 어디가?
어디가?
우리 어디가? Yo.
No, let us see the footage! Actually,
And
we
now
can't.
YouTuber Rotten Mango
We saw
decided
that
to cover
video.
the incident. But to explain the significance of this is on YouTube, she has nearly 4 million subscribers, with 1.8 million views on this video in the first week. And even though I've seen similar numbers recently, Rotten Mango, or Stephanie Sue, is in the top 100 on Apple Podcasts.
Oh yeah.
And even ranked number 17 on Spotify, with the second most watched true crime
Second,
podcast.
not the
So even
first?
though me, Asmon Gold, and Abba and Preach have received millions of views covering Johnny's descent into internet obscurity, we all kind of sit under the same umbrella online, sharing much of the same audience.
I like
and
his shirt.
repeated
Is that
viewer.
face?
But Stephanie Sue in the Rotten Mango podcast introduces Johnny's crimes against Korea to millions of other more offline people, which is only going to apply further pressure to the Korean government to do something very uncharacteristic and absolutely throw the book at an American, as something like 16 years in prison is on the table.
16 years.
And although it seems silly
Please.
that a podcast documentary can actually impact the outcome of a court case, just remember how R. Kelly's crimes were basically an open secret for several decades until Lifetime made a documentary about him, reminding the public to demand justice. As this even has NBC News reporting on
NBC
Johnny Somali
News on
or
this.
Ramsey Khalid
Damn.
Ishmael, with Dexerto stating he's facing up to 7 years in jail for sharing AI-generated content,
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
his previous actions under a microscope, which now may actually lead to terror charges. I hope those $3 super chats were worth it, as he's been basically begging for international notoriety.
True.
And now he's put both
He was begging
himself
for
and
it.
South Korea's justice system
he's gonna
in the
get it.
spotlight. So if they want to avoid advertising themselves as spineless jellyfish to the international community, further inviting more unemployed behaviors to plague
Yeah,
their streets,
unemployed!
they're gonna need to lock
He called him unemployed behavior!
up Johnny for a very long time, as those videos might actually be his final goodbye to the internet. Now, the beginning of the end for him began when he was literally being hunted during his live streams. So he switched to live streaming inside what appeared to be an empty room until
You doing an
internet sleuths
apology?
caught a brief glimpse of a blurry pizza box that locals were quickly able to identify. And as he tried
He
to
doxed
antagonize
himself.
the Koreans even further, they caught a reflection of the room off his cell phone, identifying a particular exit sign and an internet cafe monitor, as the chat filled with messages stating they
Found
knew where he
you!
was staying. As
Ah! They said found you or opened the door! Found you, found you. Holy shit.
he was staying. As shortly after that, that Korean Navy SEAL found him in the street. But luckily for Johnny, the local
I love this
authorities
one.
were nearby to
It's
rescue
so good.
him.
My hat. 자,
Punch him.
이쪽으로 오세요.
Oh yeah, this is the one where they pushed him so
Arresting
lightly.
the Korean UDT
But he's
SEAL
like, "Oh my
that
God, it
showed
hurts."
absolutely no remorse.
야, 굿나잇, 소말리. 굿나잇. 굿나잇.
And to my understanding, that guy had his bail, luxury hotel, and upcoming legal fees crowdfunded, as he's basically seen as both a local and international hero.
Hero.
Just as I predicted would happen years ago. So being afraid to live stream anything but audio, he's resorted to essentially hosting conference calls on X.
Korean word, star and Asian hate. Hashtag star Asian hate. What the fuck? Oh man, that's wild. This hashtag is wild, okay?
As these could barely gain a couple hundred listeners, which is a
Star
huge
Asian
drop-off
hate?
from his thousands of video views. and
Why is
the
it in
millions
One
of
Piece? Is he in the One Piece? No! Get the fuck out of here!
his thousands of video views, and the millions of people who would tune in to see him find out, which again was another one of my predictions, that he would slowly slip into internet obscurity as he provides nothing of value other than internet fame and fortune for whoever can find him
I
in the
wouldn't
streets,
say
or for
fortune.
insanely famous podcasters that make thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars off of. as I imagine she'll get at least 3 million views, showing a new side of the internet exactly why he's despised by everybody else.
And he starts stripping off his shirt. He's trying to dance all up on this female figure, rubbing baby oil onto her, and
That
the
is so
Koreans are
foul.
screaming at him in Korean.
And to make it worse, that statue is supposed to be of a kid, which may make his dance a much more serious crime. So at least to Johnny Somali, worst case is he streams that garbage to a couple thousand people on the shadiest streaming site online and nobody notices. And best case, I guess, is
the
he's
shade.
featured on the #2 crime podcast in the world. Then the mainstream news media picks it up, and now you're going viral for making a video doing very suggestive things to a statue
Going viral
of a
but for the
kid
wrong
that was
reasons.
specifically made to commemorate how foreigners committed crimes against kids. So he thought he was
This
being
guy
funny
feels
to
like
idiots
Dinah?
online when he was really reopening one of the
Damn.
most sensitive issues in South Korean history, now making it about him. And speaking of sensitive political issues, after he was streaming alongside
fuck?
some girl,
This is
recording
new.
himself vandalizing another guy's home,
Why would
Johnny
you
later
record
displayed
yourself
to his
doing
live stream
crimes?
AI-generated videos of him hooking up with a female streamer, which violates a brand new bill
Yeah, that's a
specifically
new
made
bill
to
in
charge
Korea.
people with those videos up to 7 years in jail. So some Korean politician is about to boost their entire career off this incident, as there was never a worse time to be this ignorant to local laws.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
I'm
don't
sure there's
think
multiple
Johnny's intentionally
deepfakes. I'm sure of
speedrunning
that.
going to prison, but if he was, I don't think he would do anything different. As Dexerto previously reported, he was facing 10 years in jail, which started from his
More!
first charge of causing a commotion in a convenience store that in comparison was one of his more milder offenses that he recorded himself committing.
That's so rude.
But just like in Japan, he'd been bothering their citizens for a while, until the authorities arrested him over something simple as trespassing into a construction site. Now the Japanese made the
that's
mistake of
new?
letting
I
him
didn't know
off
he
easy,
did that.
believing his lies and just deporting him. And the citizens are already seeing the effects of allowing
What is
foreigners
this?
to completely disregard your culture, which is why I think Korea has to absolutely throw the book at him, as not only did the entire world see some idiot twerk and pour baby oil over a statue of a little girl, but also violate a brand new law specifically made in response to public outrage over deepfakes. This case is becoming so high profile that if they don't imprison him for at least half a decade, they're basically broadcasting not only to Koreans, but the entire world that their laws actually don't mean anything.
They have to
And
do
other streamers
something.
know this, as
Oh,
legal
legal mindset. There
is
you go.
begging people to come forward.
For example, the people that he sexually harassed, you need to go file a complaint. Right now, the system looks at
Right
how
now,
many
chat,
charges
right
are there.
now.
If this guy gets 10, 20 charges against him, he's screwed.
As the convenience store wasn't the only place he bothered workers, he also bothered other streamers.
He's so
He bothered
annoying.
random
It's like that
buskers. He
annoying
and his
flies
stupid Korean friend
that
bothered
keep on
random girls in the streets.
flying around you.
You want me on stream?
You're so annoying. It's like
Even
bzz, bzz,
following
bzz,
them
you
in the
know?
stores.
Why are
Oh my god.
Well, I'm about to crash out. I'm about to crash out. This your friend right here?
And shouting at old ladies just begging for change.
Get lost.
That's so rude.
Get the on. Come on.
As much as I think Johnny and Johnny Jr. are losers, I think that Korean dude that follows them around for secondhand clout is the most pathetic person I've seen
Yeah,
on the
true,
internet.
very
So I
pathetic.
feel no sympathy for him, as he may have legal issues of his own, and he's pretty much earned it, hanging out with a guy that literally despises his entire existence.
I like to make content that makes people violent. I hate Asians. I think all Asians need to be exterminated. Somebody please put this on the news tomorrow.
Which this too turns out to be a
Bro.
crime in Korea, punishable by up to 7
You
years.
can tell, like, that one Korean dude that hang out with Salami, whatever. Tell me that you did not have love from your parents growing up. But the fact that you hate who you are, your, nationality, ethnicity, like, that's wild, okay? Self-hatred to the next level.
Years in jail. On top of the time he went into their subway system, broadcasting that he has a device.
나에겐 폭탄이 있다. 나에겐 폭탄이 있다.
Oh my god!
Which again violates local laws that could get him an additional 2
15,000?
years in prison. So Dexerto
he has
said
that
10
money,
years in
though.
prison. My math here adds up to 16, with some people even saying 29 years. But I guess the sentence length is irrelevant when Korea had an over 99% conviction rate. Now I understand long prison sentences isn't as common in Korea, but the justice system is more of a deterrence for future offenders than rehabilitating previous offenders. So this particular scenario
I think they're
has
still on
zero
trial.
drawbacks when you can imprison someone for several years, then immediately deport him back to his home country. And although incarceration is incredibly expensive, it just might be worth the worldwide headlines of "Do not f with Korea."
Yeah,
we got
don't fuck with
military-age
Korea.
men that'll beat you up everywhere. We got high-speed internet to live stream your beating from every angle.
Oh, he's
Then
booked,
we
though.
let you
Okay,
rot in
okay.
a box over laws you never knew existed. And that message is priceless.